Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good time of day, whatever it may be for you. Welcome back to the LAMDA log. Um, I'm your host, Zion Austin. This is week 2, day 1, the 27th of July, 2026. We're back at it. 1 week under the belt, week 2 beginning. We had a little warm up where we focused on a vocal warm up because we were going to learn, we're going to have a kind of focused workshop with Alex, our voice guy. So I did that. And then we began our voice work with him. We started in the semi-supine and really focusing on the ribs. So we're really breathing into that rib expansion, that rib swing, he calls it, right? Because you have a ton of mobility here and here this way. Yeah, so we were in semi-supine, really focusing on that the breath there. Then we went into the fetal position and had our arm out, so our head was into and we put our hands on our ribs like here while we're here. Really felt that. And the way he focused on the breath too was that you sigh out all your breath and you close your mouth so that the breath drops in through the nose. That's how we focused on it. And then we did. So then we walked the space a bit, and then we would stop and say 3 lines that we had memorized, which was our homework. Let's see if I remember. Mine were, "Good Senor, have you..." Stop. It's my first 3 lines. Shoot. "Good Senor Leonardo, are you come to meet your trouble? You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter." Those are my 3. And so then we would do that just intermittently, and then just whenever the impulse took you, you say it, and then we stopped and looked at. We would walk. He would say stop, and then someone would take the impulse to do it. And then we did it until we finished everyone, and then we paired up, and one person rubbed the other person's back, so not like this, but like actually rubbed it, like to kind of warm it up and bring attention to it. Then you patted it out, and then you put your hand on the lower ribs, and they breathed into it, and then did the gas pump exercise, which is like the B exercise we did with Tamsin. But you breathe into it, and you don't want to hold it. You don't want to go or I don't remember what we did. I think we did a hum first, but just so there's not that hold moment ever. But then you walk around the space, and then when your breath is coming out, you come back and you dock, and then you get you put your partner's hands back on your ribs, and you let that drop in through the nose, and then and then you can change the note. And then we did that a couple times, and then we did it on our line. So we did 1 line at a time, and then came back. "Oh, good Senor Leonardo, are you come to meet your trouble? You embrace your charge..." Oh, no, we did it on a drone. "You embrace your charge too willingly." So you keep it all on the same note. Yeah. And then we switched. And then we did the lines again as we walked around the room, but in a specific order that Alex gave us. We just circled up, and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your order. And then we walked around, and he'd say, "Okay, stop." And then the next person would go. And then we discussed our experience and had a little tea break. During the tea break, I did some push-ups because I'm up to 200 a day. But Alex comes over. He's like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that because you're you're undermining all the work we just did." And I was like, "But my goals." So yeah, I was like, I'll do them later. Um, and then we continued with blocking and getting the play up on its feet. Some things that I wrote down that we need to remember: don't internalize or devoice. Be on the thought. Ask yourself, what sensation does the thought create? Where's the where's the that looks like CONT. That can't be right. Where's the thought? Look around for it. Um, a denial of impulse. Lawrence pointed that out a couple places. Like, I can see you have a denial of impulse, or I think you have a denial of impulse, keeping me stuck in a single space. And then after lunch, we went back to our podcast, Shakespeare's Restless World, and the object today was Elizabethan dagger and sword. So the Elizabethans, they had daggers, and they were frequently used for status. And if you get a bunch of like hot-blooded kids who have swords, they're gonna use them. Gentlemen were expected to carry swords, and violence was always a possibility. South of the Thames was for entertainment: brothels, taverns, inns, bear pits, cockpits. The city didn't have jurisdiction south of the Thames, so it was a little bit of a lawless area. Um, yeah, and it was good. And then we learned some dance moves with Ian. Pretty sure it's Ian. I wrote Steven, but I had the same experience the other day. I'm 89% sure it's Ian. Pretty sure it's Ian. And basically what we focused on was just like a ball change. Dum bum 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 bum. So we're just doing that and traveling. Dum bum ba dum bum bum. And so we then did a little jive. So you do a little back ball, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ba, 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 ba. And then you let go, and then you travel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now you've gone under, but now you can't see me. And then you do the step ball change again, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you switch hands. And then you go again. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, bum, ba, dum, bum, bum, da, 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 da. Ba, da, 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 da. That's the idea. And that's a little jive. And then from that, instead of going to there, you turn out. But imagine this out is here. And then you go ba, 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 ba. And then you go into kicks. Kick, kick, out, backhand, down. Kick, 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 out, backhand, down. And that's a little jive moment. And that's what I'll be doing with Hero. And I got to do dialogue during that, so I got to get that locked in. And then we did a little Elizabethan dance where we go arm to arm and go triple step, walk, walk, triple step, switch, triple step, walk, walk, triple step. And then you do this little clap, 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 left shoulder, right shoulder, walk, walk, high five. And these are all Elizabethan things. And then again, triple step, walk, walk, triple step. Oh, switch. Triple step, walk, walk, triple step. And then the kicks again. Kick, 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 left shoulder, right shoulder, and then walk, walk. And instead of the high five, you grab each other's arm. Then you switch places, ha! And that's the gist of the dance. Then afterwards, it was so fun. I love dancing. Big joy. And then we had a little tea break, and I went to do some more push-ups because I was like, okay, our voice work is done. We're doing some dancing now. Um, and then Ian said, hey, you shouldn't do that because that's tightening up your core and you want to be loose. And I was like, you're the second person to tell me that today. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that wasn't just one specific person thing. That was something that is general that I should apply. So, gonna do that. Um, and then, yeah, wait, lost me page. Yeah, and that was the day. Delightful. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That was rehearsal. I wish that were the end, but no. Well, I don't wish it was. Well, you know. But we had another professional prep meeting because we have those all the time, every day, all the time. This one was for casting and producing your own show. So we had special guests, Diego Sasoya, Amy Shelmerdine, and Brock Lucer. So Diego graduated in 2025 as a D. He didn't produce a lot pre-LAMDA, but took a play to China, and he reworked it at the German Saint Theater. Big deal. Brock did her undergrad at NYU and was scared about writing for herself, but connected to Brave Mouse, a producer. That's separate, but connected to Brave Mouse, a producer for her sister's film company. Graduated with Diego, produced 4 plays, 3 of which were originals, and registered a company, Wiggle Room Productions. Then Amy was in the director's course and graduated in 2025, produced a bunch in undergrad, musicals and traditional theater mostly. Did one of the reps and brought it to Edinburgh Fringe. So then we started asking questions because that was the focus. Why did you need to produce with an LTE, which is like an LLC? Like Brock mentioned how she had to create a company. And at small pub theaters, you don't need a company, but if you do it on a larger level, you do need it with a company to register it. It's like a simple, easy process. It's basically for tax reasons. And then does a production company help with a visa afterwards? Like if you have a production company, the awards and notoriety is more important. You need 10 pieces of evidence to prove something about your creative endeavors, which we'll learn about tomorrow. How do you find a director and manage that? So like if you're a production person and like you wrote it, like how do you find a director and like what's that process? Don't direct your own stuff without a stage manager or someone to help. You will be stretched too thin. Established people can be willing, but there are rates and money expectations. It's better to pay everyone involved. Experience requires higher pay. Pay everyone generally the same, and based on like how many jobs they do. Shout out Sandridge. Be upfront and transparent about expectations. Will people be paid? How much? What does fundraising look like? So the director student, Amy, she did cake sales and made almost £3,000 quickly. Looked for crowdfunding as well, asking family and friends. You can organize a pub quiz or a bake sale, a show to fund another one. Grants are not always reliable. It's a good thing to go through the process to really understand things. Like with the Arts Council, you get rejected almost immediately the first time. The first time you just get rejected, so you have to reapply. And then private investors is sometimes the only way. But know what number you need and find the way to get it, right? So say, do your work and be like, we need £20,000 to do this or whatever. The Arts Council is tough, but it's worth looking into with the application process, and you can look up industry standards for budgets and prices and things, which is really helpful. Many theaters are willing to co-produce; they'll do like 30 or 20%. You just need to provide the rest, and then know your specific numbers. The more specific and detailed and knowledgeable you are about it, the better. The VAT exempt. There are some VAT exempt companies and theaters, and you can show a guaranteed recuperation because you can say, hey, we have to pay this up front, but then we'll get it back. And how do you bridge the gap from pub theater to a larger production? Reputation is a big part, not necessarily your own, but maybe your undergrad, LAMDA, people you were working with. Show that you're already got 60% of the money or something, and you just need a little bit more support or help. Have them meet the people, and they can be really interested if they like you. Sometimes things just happen. Professional looking marketing can be a way in. That happened for Brock and Diego. They were doing their show at a smaller theater, and they were kind of doing it to get reviews and get noticed so that they could then get the information they needed out and be able to use that. But because their marketing was so good, somebody reached out to them individually. So it just happens sometimes, and marketing can do that. Network and build a team of collaborators. Do the job well. Okay, be someone people want to work with. Make your collaborators a little outside of your circle, so that when you work with them, you get access to their circles as well. Don't be afraid to bug people, reviewers, and etc. Just keep emailing them. What do you produce? How do you know about material? I don't know that last part, but you still have access to this building and these people. Use them, right? LAMDA is still a huge resource. If you're within it, if you've written it and are going to perform in it, you should find a director. Do like 2 of the 3 max. Share this with people. Get their investment and their opinions. As a writer, you need to relinquish creative control. Once you've written it, give it away. If you're a producer, don't direct if you're not all in and if you don't have the bandwidth, right? Like maybe you're producing something, you're like, yeah, I'll direct it, but if you're not really committed to it and passionate about it, don't do it. Theater is a team sport. Get another producer if you are also performing in it. Pick 2 of 3, right? Direct, act, or write. Pick 2 or 3 of those. Produce, I would put on there as well, and still 2 of the 4. Have them read your script and have them pitch you their idea of your show to see if it gels, to see if they get it. That's a really cool idea. How do you know what world or media your script fits in? If you're going for naturalism, Fringe doesn't allow for much tech time and the ability to do it. So keep that in mind. Produce your piece to the capacity of your space, right? And then write a piece that is flexible. Scale is dependent on your resources. Does the venue do upfront payment or box office splits? You need to ask these questions. Box office split is better to start off with because you might not make a lot of money. It's so cool we can do stuff, but always remind yourself why we are doing this project, right? An LLC is like an LTD. You don't need to make an LTD when you start making enough money, right? Don't do this first. It's difficult to do that, and it's just not necessary. Have real conversations, real hard conversations with your friends. Budget was based on upfront and back end, right? You don't need an LTD. How do you establish rates? Look up the industry rates on Google. Look at budget, add it up, and divide it between the people. Transparency is the most important. What is the job title and job responsibility? That's good for people to know. Establish that and clarify it. Either pay everyone or pay no one. Ask people what is their rate. Be up and sometimes like you can be like, oh, so what's your rate? And they'll be like, this is what it is. It's like, okay, that's too expensive for us. I'm sorry, we'll have to look somewhere else. And then they'll be willing to go down sometimes if if they really are like passionate about the project. Be upfront with what's possible. Are you available? Are you interested? And what's your rate? Those are questions always to ask. How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you find rehearsal space? Or how do you feel about finding it? First, lock in your rehearsal schedule. Call customer service here for LAMDA, and you have a year of free access, and be like, okay, this is my schedule. What can we make work? And then the Dance Attic is an affordable place. The Theater Deli, church halls, schools. Reach out to your friends and check for cheap spaces. Right, our network is our friends and our community. There is always on the others. There is always someone on the other side of an email. So don't be a jerk. I didn't write someone. How do you balance time with so many hats? You got to ask yourself what is going to drive you the furthest and make you the best you, and then focus on that. You will figure it out as you go along. Diego asked every agent about if working on their own stuff would be a problem. Be transparent, because some of them are like, yeah, no, you need to be available to work. And he's like, okay, then you're not the person for me. A lot of people are not good at it, of balancing time, right? Pay rent first. Something that's nice is to get that worry out of the way. Pay your rent, put it aside, and then you can move forward. And then you can have like peace. Like, so like, be accumulating the money for next month's rent. Say your rent's £1,000. Every time you do something that paid, make sure that you're adding to that. You're adding to that. You pay off your rent. Once you've got your £1,000 for your rent, then you can relax. Follow what you feel is right. Right? You know yourself. Trust your gut. Know what you're willing to sacrifice. Right? Amy commutes 2 hours to live at home. And so it's 2 hours there and 2 hours back. So 4 hours of her day was spent commuting. And she had to work on the tube, and she had these things, but she got free rent. You don't need to live in London. You can live outside of it. It's just what works and what works and what is available to you. What were people's experiences with Fringe? What are the pros? What are the cons? Time management is huge. Diego had great accomplishments and opportunities. Wear them with pride. Own that. Have clear division between work and personal life. That's super difficult, but it's important. He would like make a schedule and say, after this time, I'm not working on the show. It's incredible to say that you did it. That's an amazing achievement. Even with our theses, it's incredible that we can say that we've done that. Until you do something, you haven't done it. So you don't know if you can, you don't know if you can't, you don't know what it looks like. You can't just be like, oh, that's too hard, or that's easy, or that's whatever it is. Until you've done it, you haven't done it. You only figure these things out doing them. It's a crucial part of your process. And so just do it. You can get questions answered and all these things, but you just got to do it. Don't let it be all consuming. It's not worth our life, our health, or our relationships. How do you market and get butts and seats here? Timing is huge, right? When is your window? No other festivals going on. It's the end of the seasons, close to the holidays. May was when they put up their show. Be early and first in festival season so that people are fresh and excited. Camden is so oversaturated, but it's, if you can get somebody to see your show, that's great. Know who your target audience is and how you can reach out to them specifically. And then I felt prompted. I was like, I need to write something again, something important, something fun, something good, something I connect with. I got to keep writing. As long as it is specific to you, you can market it. Be authentic and true to yourself and to your project. Connect with everyone and build your network. Know your demographic, right? If it appeals to older people, put ads in the radio, in the newspaper, Facebook, socials, right? Know where your demographic will see it. Some red flags to look at for hiring when you don't know them. Oh, what are some red flags to look out out for when hiring if you don't like know the person you're going to work with. Word of mouth is huge. Connections is huge. Like trust the people. Trust the people that your trusted people trust. Trust the people that your trusted people trust. I want to write up and make cuts for some Shakespeare. That was another thing I felt to do, so that I can just like be like, we can do Shakespeare, whatever and however, it's free, right? Shakespeare's not getting any money. LAMDA's web is vast, so reach out to LAMDA people. That's a great place to start. A homogenous room is not an artistically creative room. Get people from different perspectives and experiences, thoughts and demographics. Get as diverse a room as you can because it will be much more creative. How do you go about producing other people's work? Lots of websites for rights. Rights are stupid expensive and can be really restrictive. So with a writer in the room, you can work with them on the script. And then I also want to produce my mom's plays, especially As He Is. So I got to look into that. And then how do you market or define yourself? And then a multi-hyphenation is great, right? Actor, writer, director. Try on different hats and see which ones fit and try multiple times to see if it was specific to that circumstance. In the way, like if you directed once and you hated it, it might have been that show or that people or whatever, right? So try again. And yeah, that was the day. A big, long, less workshop, but it was super helpful and it was really in depth and cool. And so I'll catch you on the flippity flop. But hope you have a good lifetime, sleep, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this. Love, bye.